We had a few inquiries from people about how to make your own sour cream because there's a lot of products out there that you can buy, vegan sour cream, they're delish, but what if you want to make it a little more natural? So this is a recipe that we created that is tangy, has all the amazing flavor of sour cream, and is based out of macadamia nuts.
Yeah, and then we're going to make a dip out of it. So we'll show you ways in which you can use it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to use some soy milk creamer. Any organic soy milk creamer is a great thing to use. We're using about 3/4 cup of our creamer, and we're going to be using 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. We want to get this in as fast as we can because we want to give this at least 5 whole minutes to curdle.
When you curdle, you're creating a vegan buttermilk. With this technique, you just curdle it up, and soy milk will curdle, so you could use straight soy milk, you could use almond milk, rice milk, coconut milk, don't curdle as well. So that's why we're using the soy milk creamer for this, for a richness, because this is sour cream, you know, it should be rich.
Sour cream is decadent, so don't be afraid to use the soy milk creamer.
So we need to let that hang out, and what we're going to do is we're going to blend the rest of our ingredients in our Vitamix. We're just going to go ahead and add a lot of different goodies in here that will give this kind of a tangy, creamy taste.
The first thing we're going to throw in are some macadamia nuts. These are a really wonderful nut. They have a lot of amazing oils in them, so you always want to store them in your fridge. They're toxic to dogs, so
this isn't sour cream
don't
for
feed
dogs.
this to a dog.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and we'll just put these in.
So we have our macadamia nuts in here, and we're going to throw in some cashews because we like a balance of flavor. The macadamias have a really strong flavor, and the cashews are a little more mellow, so the combo is just amazing.
We'll put in our cashews.
They're called raw cashews, even though they're not technically raw. If you can only find roasted, that's okay. You can go for it. And try to just get unsalted because you want to add your own sea salt.
If you do get the roasted and salted, you get home, by accident you did that, just decrease the amount of salt that we're going to include because you already have some salt on your cashews.
In there, we're just going to put in some sea salt and a little garlic powder, and that goes in for flavor. If you're going to use this sour cream in a sweet recipe, like in a sour cream coffee cake or in another way, then go ahead and omit the garlic powder if you're going to use it like that.
The other ingredient we're using is some miso. This is the Miso Master brand that we love, but really you can get any miso that you find in the market. A lot of times people go into the market and they see tons of different kinds of miso. Just remember the word mellow. The mellow white, the mellow yellow, either of those or any of those are great.
We add a little miso in here for kind of a creaminess and a saltiness. So that's what we're going for. It also has a little tangy taste, so that's why we added in. And it's got the probiotics in there. And then we are going to put in a little brown rice syrup as well. So brown rice syrup is a low glycemic sweetener. You can use agave if you want. And if you were to use that, you would just half the amount because agave is super duper sweet. So either sweetener of your choice, put it in there.
We're also going to put in some fresh lemon juice. This adds a tanginess to our dish, and it just really brings out the flavors. We just go ahead and cut right around the core. We're only going to need about 2 pieces of this lemon. This is a Meyer lemon, super, super juicy.
Yeah, so in the actual sour cream, we only use a little bit of lemon juice. Then later on for our dip, we'll use the rest of that lemon juice in there and make that really tangy. So
we were just sort of brainstorming about different recipes that we would use this in. Obviously, on a baked potato, this sour cream is totally delicious.
Yes.
We were also fantasizing about building a 7-layer, Mexican-style dip and having this in there and black beans and guacamole and all kinds of things.
Or if you're making the chili from one of the other classes, throw the sour cream on top. It's amazing. Or you can put this over a soup. If you want a little cooling kind of flavor on the soup, that would work too. Once our soy milk is curdled, which it is already, then we're going to go ahead and add that into our Vitamix.
You can see that there's a little bit of a chunky kind of texture at the top.
The delicious curdle.
And that adds that sour from the sour cream that we're going for. That really is where that taste comes from.
Yeah, traditionally this was made by letting milk sit out on your counter for a day or so, and we prefer to use some macadamias and curdle our soy milk creamer and do it our way, the vegan way. So we are just going to blend this up, And you really want this to be thick, okay? So if you have too much liquid in there, it'll be more of a creamy consistency that's a little too soft.
You can always add more nuts if it looks a little bit too thin or vice versa. So you can really make adjustments. There's no need to panic in the kitchen. We're all gonna be okay.
Yes, and this will also firm up in the fridge overnight. If you don't have a Vite, then what you can do is you can make this in a food processor. So all you do is you blend it for a bit longer until you get the consistency that you see at the end of when we blend it. It will probably take about 3 whole minutes as opposed to about 30 seconds or so.
Also, if you just have a regular blender, you don't have a Vitamix, and you don't have a food processor, leave it on for, I mean, it depends on the quality of your blender, but leave it on for longer until you see the consistency that we're about to show you. So that was about 30 seconds. That's all it took.
So what you're looking for is a smooth and uniform consistency in here. And then if you don't have that, go ahead and scrape down the sides and reblend it, or stir it with your tamper until you get that smooth consistency that you're looking for. Once you're finished, just transfer it into a bowl, and you can store this in the refrigerator for about 5 days or so, or you can use it in a bunch of different recipes. And then we're going to use it for our dip right now, so that's pretty quick.
So you can see it's really smooth and uniform. There's no chunks of nuts left or anything like that. That's really what you do want in a sour cream. So the way we're going to make our dip is we're going to use some of our bestie, the brown rice syrup. We're also going to use some dried minced onion and some dill, and also there's some black pepper down there hiding.
Yeah, so a lot of the time onion dip, usually people use a little mix that can have some monosodium glutamate in there or other weird preservatives. Yeah, we don't want that. So just go ahead and look in the spice section, get minced onion that's dried, and it's going to have all that crunch and that really good onion flavor that you get from one of those French onion soup mixes.
Right. So that will just go on in.
You can use fresh herbs if you have them, so fresh dill, fresh basil would be really good in here. So you can sub out whatever from your garden you have. And then you just want to stir this together, incorporate it, and fold in all your ingredients with a little more lemon juice. So we'll use some more from that lemon that we cut up, and then the brown rice syrup will go in.
We're adding the brown rice syrup because we're going to be using some lemon, and anytime we use anything that sort of has that acidic flavor to it, we try to balance it out with a little bit of sweetness so it's not overpowering.
Yeah.
So we'll use the rest of our Meyer lemon. We'll just go ahead and finish cutting right around the core of our lemon. And we just need about 2 slices.
So Meyer lemons are a little juicier than a Eureka lemon, and they're also a little sweeter. So if you like the sweeter taste, you can try to find a Meyer lemon. And if they're not in season, you can use the Eureka. It's going to be no problem.
Any kind of lemon is great.
Yes. So ideally, you let this sit for about half an hour in the fridge to let the flavors develop.
And then you have a dip, and you can, if you're having a giant party, you can double this recipe and go ahead and do that.
So when you're all finished, what you can do is you can serve these guys with some veggie sticks, crudité, or some crackers.
Yeah.
What do you prefer?
I think